We're at the site of Point Amour Lighthouse. And it's still in operation, I understand, eh?
24/7 is in operation.
Oh yeah, okay, but all automated, I guess?
All automated, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So those are relics from the HMS Raleigh.
HMS what?
Raleigh.
Oh, yeah.
Shore here in 1922.
Oh, okay.
I was going into Fordo Bay salmon fishing,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought they saw an iceberg, so they turned and hit the rocks.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And it
That's
floated
not
on the
good.
water for 4 years, and they cleaned her dry, so they took everything out of her,
Mm-hmm.
and then then they blew it up 4 years later.
Wow.
So the model shows the construction, how it's built. The limestone layered with fire brick, and from 1854 to 1858 to build, 4 years. Then another 4 years, after that, they put cedar shakes on to protect the limestone and the fire brick, because saltwater spray constantly beating against it was eating the mortar out of it, of course. Strong current and icebergs, fog, and wind, of course. Yep. So we'll go through to the top.
Get some more pictures later.
Mm. Wow. What's this?
So this is the entrance to the tower, and down here is the base. It goes down 12 feet that we see to the bedrock. When you look down, you'll see 5 layers of fire brick. There's no doorway, but they had a rope ladder that they could go down on. Sometimes we get heavy rains, water comes in there. If it do, They could go down. If it came any higher than what those fire brick is, they could bail it out. Because the salt in the water will eat away at the limestone.
Right.
So the fire brick is protecting the limestone. The one across the middle is for stability, they said, just in case.
Get us a selfie of us.
So this is the last one.
Even you want to take these things?
Yeah, watch your head here.
So pretty beautiful out here.
She missed that one.
Selena said she felt like taking 2
Well,
steps.
she slipped over.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Different, aren't they? Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are very different.
Honestly, what do you think of that?
Okay, well, hold on here, those are easier. And this one's go, yeah.
Out now for 4 seconds, same as when the petroleum vapor was there in 1903. So the 4 light bulbs, in about a year, it will automatically turn to the next one to come into place. Nobody has to touch it. It just automatically does it.
The chips and dings you see in the glass on the lens, I guess each one has a story. But
Oh yes. Mostly we think that when I was talking about it blew out, he probably had a little ladder that he would have to get up on, and he probably had a little lantern because he had to see where he was cleaning. So we think maybe between the little ladder and the lantern, he'd probably hid it in different places
little dings here.
as he was trying to clean it as quickly as he could and get it back on. So that light, which is a 500-watt incandescent bulb, will increase through here for 18 nautical miles, 33 kilometers. You can see this light.
Wow.
That's definitely a tour you want to do. That was a lot of fun.
And just as a little bit of an interesting side note here, these are the remains of the Marconi station that was here. It used 3 telegraph operators to keep up with all the messages coming to and from the ships at sea. Anse-Lamour, and it's the town that's behind us there, and just behind the Amour Lighthouse, is actually a romanticized version of Cove of the Dead because of the many shipwrecks that they had in this area. The worst being the HMS Raleigh that struck a shoal here and sank in 1922. Yeah, apparently they wanted to do some fishing at Fort Tow, and I guess they misjudged their position and hit a shoal. It was quite a loss of life. think after a long, long time away from Quebec, we're going into Quebec. We're going in from the east. Remember, there are no roads out here from the west. You have to go through Labrador. So that's kind of cool. Thank you for visiting our province. Right on. So we're into Quebec again very briefly, just for one night, and tomorrow we're on the ferry to Newfoundland. Well, here we are in Blanc Sablon. The funny thing is, on my itinerary, I had two different hotels mixed up on today's date. I had the name of the one and the address of the other. And so we went to the wrong hotel, and the lady there saying, no, we've been booked up for ages. And I said, well, I put the reservation in quite a long time ago. So we both contacted our notes, and then I saw that the name of the other hotel in town was actually also there with the address of her hotel. So a bit of a mix-up. So I said, oh, I think it's the other place. All right, who's this? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is quite a place up here. The proprietor of this hotel, Cat Saison, said that that this area up here gives a really good view of the whole area. Looks like this may be Stations of the Cross here. Mm-hmm. But over here looks like is where the walkway up to the top is. So let's head over this way. When we arrived in Blanc Sablon, there was a bit of confusion because the proprietor here was cautioning us after taking the ferry to make sure we're on Newfoundland time, and he said, I keep my clocks here on Toronto time, and yet the time that he mentioned that he had on his watch was identical to our time, which we had already switched to Newfoundland time. But I found that my phone had switched back to Toronto time on its own Eastern Daylight Time. So as we crossed over the border from Labrador into Quebec, we went back an hour and a half. So there was a bit of confusion. As it turns out, we would have been fine because I would have been still consulting my watch, but I could see where that would cause a problem. Because the ferry won't wait for people who have got the wrong time in their watch. Anyway, the confusion has all been finished with now. It's quite a walk. So this is Blanc Sablon. Once we're back in Quebec now, you do hear the Francophone accent again. However, surprisingly, it's not as prevalent as you may think. In all the shops and stuff, the accent seems to be Newfoundland English. And there was no problem at all making ourselves understood. It's not really a terribly big place. And the ferry is over that way somewhere in behind a headland. Look at all the what?
Rolling hills.
Yeah, yeah.